Who is your daddy? I am your father.
You fathers will understand.
My father taught me many things.
I got an idea. How about you all sit there quietly while I make dad noises?
I'm wearing my Rocket League shirt in honor of talking about video games, even though I barely play Rocket League anymore.
It's because you're a noob.
Because I'm a noob. I wonder how I would do now. Like, I've fired it up a few times over the last few months, but I wonder how I would do in, like, legit competition now. I'm curious. Probably not great.
Like I said, I'm hanging out in gold, anywhere from gold 1 to 3. Like, I'll be in gold 3, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm 1 away from platinum, and then I'll drop to gold 1. I'll have, like, 7 or 8 matches that are just, not just my performances are terrible, but you get stuck with trash teammates.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's always someone else's fault. That's what I've learned. Yeah. That's one thing that you've taught me. If you ever wonder, like, what has Tim gotten out of this partnership, this friendship, this podcast co-host weird relationship we have going? If you're wondering what's one thing that Tim's gotten out of it, other than a lot of free games, it's that I've learned it's usually someone else's fault when things go wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned.
Like, I always look at it like if I had a different host, the podcast would be more successful, that type of thing.
Right. Naturally.
So
naturally.
I guess you could say it's your fault that we don't succeed.
Yeah. It feels that way. So thank you for confirming it.
No, but you know it's legit. If you play Rocket League long enough, you figure out the game. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've said this before. I'm not perfect. I have games where I do embarrassing things, and I'm like, oh, this guy's already razzing me, and I just did a backflip when I was supposed to be, maybe boosting up into the air to stop the ball and let the goal go by, and then, I get somebody to yell at me. But overall, I understand, how to rotate. I even know how to do flying goals now. I'm not, like, Manuel good at it, but I'm way better than I used to be, and that's because I've practiced. And I've always been really, really good at playing fast. Like, I have to play fast. If I don't have boost, I'm terrible. So if I play with speed, I can usually get very good shots on goal at high speeds that usually most people have trouble saving. And so I know I'm decent, but I still have my weaknesses, and I still am not elite. Like, I'll play with some elite players, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are ridiculous. They can go in the air anywhere. It does not matter where the ball is. It doesn't matter what angle, how fast, how high. They will hit it. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm not at that level. But overall,
Derek,
I'm a good teammate.
Even Superman has his kryptonite,
Right.
I mean, that's just the fact of life. It's just part of life. Yep. Well, here we are with episode 85 of Fathers of the Grind. I'm here with Derek Teague, and my name is Tim Nestor, and we're going to talk about games coming out this fall. It's already been an insane year. If you listen to us regularly, you know that we love talking about, what games have come out, what consoles they're on, kind of evaluating the quality of these games. We love doing this kind of stuff. So one thing we also want to do is provide you with the preview, a reminder of what's yet to come. We always talk about stuff we're playing and things that we thought were the best so far this year. But we also want to go through as complete of a list as I could find. I think it was on Game Informer's website. In terms of the notable releases. This will not include every Steam game, because that'd be insane. I think there's 50 games a day that comes out on Steam. So obviously not doing that. It's all console games, and then it may be a handful of notable PC releases here and there. So we'll go through that. We're even going to do a really brief kind of movie preview for the fall, some stuff that I saw on Rotten Tomatoes that I'm looking forward to, that I thought I'd highlight. Either looking forward to or expect to be trash, one way or the other. So that's what we're doing today. So before we get into that, though, let's talk a little bit about what we're playing this week. And let's just go back and forth this time instead of both of us taking a big chunk of time. So I'll start off first because I don't have a lot to say about this first one. I'm playing Ghost Recon Wildlands. I started that up about 2 days ago. For some reason, I just kind of wanted that, that modern-day military squad shooter type of a thing. And it definitely scratches that itch. I've maybe played for 2 hours total, very early in the game. I just stole the car of some lieutenant. Or no, he and his wife, this couple, they're like this horrible torture duo. That's who
Yeah.
it is. And I'm trying to capture them, and I just stole his car. We're trying to like get him out of hiding so we can confront them. So anyway, it's kind of interesting. The bad guy I find to be kind of fascinating at the beginning, but then he so far has disappeared since then, other than on the radio. Kind of reminds me of Fallout 4, where you've got a very charismatic, interesting bad guy, but then he's hidden for a while. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll keep playing that game for a long time, but right now it's just kind of a fun squad-based
Are
shooter.
you
I was actually
playing
gonna
it solo, or did you?
I
go play
am, and
with
that's why I was
friends?
going to ask you if you're interested in trying a mission or two. I don't know if you liked that game or not, but I feel like this would be fun with multiple people tagging enemies, together, taking. The only problem is I think different people play at different paces. Some people go in guns blazing, some people go.
You would probably hate playing with me because you'd be like, "Oh, let's just take our time. Let's."
Are you Leroy Jenkins?
Let's
You're
go
Leroy Jenkins, aren't
scope
you?
everything out. No, I'm like, dude, where's my machine gun? Going in.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I'll play that with you. I had it on the Xbox One. I actually bought the season pass, and I played a few times with Nate Bacon. Was supposed to play with Rob Rinaldi. Him and I bought the exact same copy. We went out and bought the $100 copy. We played the beta together. We had fun, and then when the game came out, Rob was like missing. I think he was busy or something like that, and then I just sold my copy because I was like, well, I'll just buy it back. I have it on the PS4, obviously, but I'll buy the Xbox One version back when it gets cheaper, since I'm not really playing with anybody. But yeah, to answer your question, I will 100% play it.
Yeah, I'd like
to
to give it a try with others because I feel like solo, it's a competent game. It reminds me of Mercenaries. Remember that Mercenaries game series?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. It's just added more elements that you get in Ghost Recon games. Lots of stuff to upgrade, lots of weapons to use, lots of stealth involved if you want to.
There's a lot.
Whereas Mercenaries was very much kind of a clunky, although fun, just run in and blow everything up type of a game. So
the amount of time I've spent with it, I've played some solo more with co-op partners because that was the whole point of buying it, was to play with others. But when I played it with solo, I found it to be easier because you could just tag who you wanted to snipe, and then you tell your AI to snipe it, and they always have a perfect shot. Whereas, like, maybe I tell you to snipe this guy over here, and I'll take this guy out, and we both miss, or one of us misses. I doubt I'll miss.
Or we're looking at the same guy by accident or something like that.
Do that. I mean, there's more errors with humans than there are with the AI.
Yeah, I like the way you can sync up your shots, and so I upgraded that skill really quickly where now I can sync up 2 AIs to shoot guys, and they'll either open fire when you tell them to or as soon as you fire. So I like that. That's been how I've been sweeping through these, they're not fortresses, but kind of like these encampments that you're trying to get in there and find the intel. So I usually do 3 guys at a time. We go in there, we snipe 3 guys at a time.
From Splinter Cell, Blacklist, where you could
Yes,
sync
where
up
you
to
mark
like 3
enemies.
or 4 guys, and then you would just hit a button, like a special button, and Sam Fisher would go crazy.
Yep, and you can upgrade that too, right? To start tagging more guys at once, I think. So anyway, so that's what I'm playing. That's the first one I'll mention I'm playing. What about you? What's something that you're playing with?
I think I'll start with my new game. I got Agents of Mayhem this week. I got it on PC. I wouldn't pay $60 for it. I bought it because it was $35 on CD Keys if I pre-ordered it. So I did that. I'm actually not a big Saints Row fan. I haven't really said this to anybody when I've talked about Agents of Mayhem in our group.
So set the table for people who have no idea what Agents of Mayhem is.
Yeah, so it's made by the developers who made the Saints Row games. Volition, I think it's their name. And again, I'm not a Saints Row fan. I don't hate them, but they're not my style of game. Agents of Mayhem is sorta, kinda like Saints Row, but different. And that is, it kind of, for me, and the reason why I went ahead and bought it is it's my Crackdown. It's a open world, and it's really set in is it Seoul? I think it's Seoul.
South Korea.
I didn't pay attention to it, but it's somewhere eastern, like far east.
Okay, got it.
And it's beautiful. Like it's got the animations like Crackdown, so it's or Borderlands, where it looks
kind of like a cell shaded look, right? Real stylized.
Everything's cell shaded. It's real stylized, and being set over in like a Japanese type area. I don't know exactly where it is. Again, I'm forgetting. It has like a different feel from what we normally get from video games, especially open world games. So I like that. But the main draw of this game is you don't start out with, but you start out with 3 heroes. They're all part of this Agents of Mayhem crew. It's like a secret agent type thing. And you unlock more agents as you go through, and I think there's a total of 12. And they do truly, when I say they play different, they truly play different. This isn't like Destiny where basically everybody shoots the same, it can use the same guns, but the only difference is you have like 1 or 2 special abilities. This game is, everybody has specific weapons, so for instance, the main guy I was using in the beginning uses basically a machine gun. And then you can unlock special abilities. So he has like, one of his specials is he does like almost like a hump thrust. And he shoots like this grenade type thing out. I don't know what he's doing, but he's like a Hollywood guy. So he's like all into himself and he goes like this. And he shoots like a grenade or a missile and it blows up. And then his other special is... He like puts on his shades, like it's almost like Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Then he goes all Hollywood, and his ammo turns into grenades. So as you shoot the machine gun, there's grenades falling everywhere, and they blow up. So it's and then there's obviously several different other characters, but it's a lot of fun. It's nothing special. Like I said, it gives me that Crackdown, Borderlands vibe, because the reason I say Borderlands, in Crackdown, I don't remember there being a lot of upgrading like you do in Agents of Mayhem, but in Borderlands, there was a lot of different weapons, there's a lot of upgrading, a lot of skills. That's what this is. You're constantly upgrading. You're upgrading your weapons, you're upgrading your special abilities, you're upgrading your health, your armor, all that stuff to make you more powerful or better defenses. And you're doing this with all 12 different characters. Now, at a time, I want to say this, at one time, you're only controlling 1 character. You can only have 3 characters total in your party. So let's say I pick, the Hollywood dude, the black dude with the big shotgun, who's a little bit slower, he's your heavy. And then there's this one chick I unlocked who's got a bow and arrow, and she's more of a sniper from distance. If I set those 3 as my 3 characters, I start out as 1. They're not with me. Like, they're not running around separate. But you can switch on the fly. So you just push a button. You push the D-pad to the left or right, I believe. And you automatically, right away, you turn into that character.
Oh, almost like Grand Theft Auto 5, where you just swap to the...
But you're all in the same place because you're just replacing your character.
Okay.
The reason why this is cool is because, and I have noticed, even though the game's kind of repetitive, there are certain areas that get a little tough using certain characters. Like, for instance, like I said, I like the Hollywood dude because I like his gun, I like his special abilities. But
and he's a white male, so...
Yeah, and he's white and good-looking like me. But when you use him in like an area where there's a bunch of heavies that are way more powerful and just as quick as he is, you're going to die a lot. So I switched to the bow and arrow chick, backed away, and started sniping them.
That's
cool. So,
yeah,
so it has, I'm not saying it's real deep, but it does have like, hey, I should probably switch to this character.
It almost sounded like Borderlands a little bit, as you were describing. The different characters, they have very unique skill sets and even weapons they can use, and you unlock certain things, but it's very individual for each character you pick. It just sounds kind of like Borderlands, but it's not a first person, right? It's a third-person action game.
Third person.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you recommend it to people who like things like Borderlands, or is it more of something in the vein of like Division or... like something you need to be able to play online to really enjoy, you think?
Well, it's not co-op. That's to me, they had some dumb reason why they didn't want to do it co-op.
I assumed it was based on what you were saying. That sucks.
Yeah, it's just you, which is fun. Okay. It's fine. Okay. I'm not complaining about that. As somebody who owns the game, it doesn't bother me. But that was one of the reasons why I was more excited for Crackdown than this game, is because Crackdown is co-op. So
and let's just tell people, in case you haven't heard and for some crazy reason, is Crackdown 3 coming out this fall like we thought?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get it with my 1X on day 1. No. Thank you, Microsoft, for letting me down yet again. As somebody who tries to defend you guys, I'm getting annoyed.
Pushing
I
it
get
back
it.
to
I know
2018.
everybody came out and they're like, well, the game looked like crap. This is a smart move. Well,
I don't think
here's
it
the
did.
thing. First of all, I didn't think the game looked that bad. But I think people are being overly harsh.
It's not going to change that much. There's clearly just some networking or some kind of operational problems. The game's going to look the way it looks.
Yeah. I don't think it's
they're not-
going to get revamped or they're going to
Yeah.
download a mod to it that gives it high fidelity graphics.
It's going to look the way you've seen it in the trailers. Probably a lot sharper, of course, on the X. But, yeah, I mean, I just imagine there's some functional gameplay things that they still haven't ironed out. Maybe some things they're deciding whether or not to include, whatever.
I'm not
whatever features, but I don't think the way it looks is going to be any different.
completely surprised. And by the way, the serious answer is yes, it got delayed.
It got delayed to 2018. Do we know when, by the way? Did they say?
It's like supposed to be late spring, I think. So it's probably going to be April, May game.
The first half of 2018 is insane. I hope something gets pushed back.
My guess is that they were running into a lot of bugs and issues, and they were like, "There's no way we can release this." And I know Microsoft. I guarantee you, Phil Spencer's pissed because he's like, "This was my 1X game. This was the
marquee
I was going
game.
to launch with the 1X. This was our big fall release, and you guys have let us down, and now we have to delay it." I mean, I'm speaking what I think he would say. I'm still excited for the 1X, but I will admit that kind of takes out some of the excitement. Like, I had taken off
for real
that week off because not just to get the new system, but because I wanted to play Crackdown 3.
Yeah, that gives you more time to play Mario Odyssey and stuff anyway. You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. I'm keeping that days off. In fact, I'm trying to take a half day off on October 27th so I can enjoy Wolfenstein 2, Assassin's Creed. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, overall, would I recommend it is what you asked. Yes, but I will say I wouldn't recommend it at $60 unless you're like me and, well, I shouldn't say me because I only bought it because it was $35. But somebody like Kyle Neely who was looking for something fun. He likes Saints Row, and Kyle generally likes most games. I mean, very rarely do I see Kyle bash games. He plays games for what they are, and he likes what he likes. And so somebody like him, yes, buy it right away because you're just going to have fun. If you're one of those that's like, every game must be perfect and you like to highly criticize everything, no, you're not going to like this because it's not your typical realistic AAA game. It's a crazy, dumb game. And I think they do a pretty good job of making it
And if any of you listening don't know who Kyle Neely is, he's a member of our community. He also is a co-host. He's been on a number of podcasts. He was a guest on our podcast earlier this year. And he also has one with a friend of his where they do, I'm sorry I'm blanking out on your co-host's name. I know he's in our group too. I sincerely apologize. But the podcast
I know his first name's Jeff. I want to say it's Whitman.
Jeff, thank you. Yes, Jeff, yes. So they do a podcast called the Enter Tournament of Champions. Enter Tournament, so like entertainment, but Enter Tournament. And they basically create a big list of the best of something, you know, movies from 1997, video games from the 80s or whatever. And then they go through that. They'll have community vote on that. So it's pretty fun. You guys should check that podcast out if that interests you. The other game I'm playing through, I'll just mention really briefly before you talk about your other one, is Minecraft Story Mode. Just finished Chapter 2 with my kids on that tonight. And it's fun. It's nice. It's not... If I were playing it by myself, I would have quit by now because it's boring for an adult to play. But if you've got younger kids, maybe middle schoolers, it's a fun one to experience together because it is kind of clever. You know, Telltale does a good job with their writing. It's just not really my thing. I don't really care about Minecraft. I'm not a big fan of that art style. But if you've got kids and you're looking for like a story-based, choose-your-own-adventure type of an experience that you can sit down and enjoy together, I recommend it. It's pretty fun for that and that alone. So there you go. I finished episode 2, and we'll just keep trucking through. Probably once a week we'll do another episode. Not that often. So.
Yeah.
What's your other game you're playing? I've got one other one too, but I'll get to that in a second. What else are you playing?
The main one right now, after I completed all those games for my vacation week, is I decided to jump back into Persona 5. Not far in. I'm about 18 hours into the game, which for most games that's a lot, but for this game, you're looking at 100 hours. So do I think I'll beat it? I doubt it. But I'm also trying to treat Persona 5 like I did Zelda, and that I knew Zelda was a huge game, and so I didn't rush myself. I wasn't like, I just need to play it 2 weeks straight, beat it, and then move on. I kept going back to Zelda. Like I would leave it for like a week or two, then come back and play it for like 3 days straight, then leave it for a week or two, and that's kind of what I'm doing with Persona 5. So I got through the second castle. That's why I was actually late to recording, is I was fighting the boss when we were supposed to start recording. But so I beat the second boss, second castle. So I'm moving on to the third one. It's fun, but it still has for me. And again, I'm not a JRPG freak, but it just has annoyances. Like I just don't
Yeah.
like. There's a lot of stuff I don't like that other people are like,
Okay.
this is so great. I'm like, no.
Is it the kind of repetitive daily schedule they put you on in those games?
That's not really
Is that-
bothering me, and maybe it's because, and keep in mind, I didn't play this game for like more than a month, and when I came back, I was already in the castle. So, but the castles take a long time. Like
Yeah.
I've been playing probably for about 4 or 5 hours, and I just got not today, but like since I started it, and I just got done with the castle because the way they have them designed is you explore them, and then you hit a certain point that you have to leave it, and then come back, and then you have to leave it, and then come back.
Yep.
And then I also ran into an issue where I thought I had to get a password from somebody to unlock a secure area, but apparently I'd already gotten the hint and I didn't know I'd gotten the hint. I was waiting for them to actually give me the password. So I kept leaving the area, coming back, leaving the area, coming back, and I didn't realize I'd already done what I needed to do, and I actually needed to do something else. So I wasted
know this game,
about an hour and a half doing that.
I know this game has a lot, of course, with the JRPG side where you're doing a lot of turn-based battles and it's very stylized and cool looking. But I know it also really heavily hinges on the social aspect, the conversations you have.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with how it tries to make you go through tons and tons of conversation, they should also just let you call IT, to get that password. Have an IT department you could call in Persona World to get that password. Is the social aspect of it with the relationships you build, is that interesting to you this time around compared to Persona 4 Golden or anything like that?
Care. I think here's why is Derek playing this game.
Yeah,
there's like 3 reasons.
Okay.
1, I do think it's stylish. I think it looks very, very cool. Okay, but that's not enough to like keep me playing. 2 would be I like the combat. I think it's fun. I do think the boss fight, the second one, was a little annoying because it took me a little time to figure out what he was doing, and then once I figured it out, it was still kind of hard, but I beat him. But it wasn't just hit X, hit X, hit X. Like you actually had to think before you did something, which I hate doing, by the way. And so I think the combat's fun. I think the third reason, and the main reason, while I skip, and I do love this feature, if you hit this options button, or what most people would call the start button, it allows you to fast forward conversations. So all that stupid talking that I hate, of course I run the risk of missing something important. But overall, dude, 99% of what they say is not important. And so I can just hit the option button and skip through the entire conversation and then just go to what I want to do. But the main reason I'm playing it is the beginning of the game and kind of throughout it. It starts at the end. It's one of those games where it starts at the end and then you're doing flashbacks.
Okay.
And so
Got it.
the mystery, I guess you could say, of the game, like what is going on, why is this character in trouble, or why is he sharing his story, I want to know why. Like I want to know.
So the storyline's interesting and you're enjoying the combat and the visuals.
Yeah.
And that's good enough to keep it going, even if the relationship aspect, which is, if you guys aren't aware, it's a huge part of the Persona games, the Shin Megami Tensei games. They've always been centered on the relationship side of things, right? Is that accurate to say?
Yeah, and I do think the characters are cool, but I just don't like I feel like they talk too much, and I feel like a lot of games talk too much. I just want to play. As somebody who used to love stories, I've kind of gotten over them. I'm not saying you can't write a good story. That's probably why my review of Hellblade was a lot less than other people. Even the story that played out in Hellblade, I was like, where's that twist? Like, where's my Bioshock
I thought
twist?
there was kind of well, I won't say much else about it. I thought there was kind of a moment at the very very end. But
There's the reveal of certain things. I won't say it because I
yeah, it's hard to talk about it without spoiling.
But
it,
there's
so.
a
I hear
reveal
you,
of
though.
it, and it makes sense. Like I'm not saying that it's just kind of dumbed down or anything. It totally with where the game's set and with who the character is, totally makes sense that this was the reveal. I just was kind of hoping for something bigger or better, I think. So anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, but I just don't care about story as much. So playing a game like Hellblade where unless I don't know, and unless you care about story, I don't see how you could really like that game. The combat's fun to a certain extent, but it's not there.
It's repetitive.
Enough. Yeah, and it's repetitive.
But I liked it though. Even the repetitive nature, I liked. We talked about this last week. It was the puzzles that brought it down. It's funny. I heard this game talked about in several different podcasts and just talking with other people, and it sounds like the majority of people agree this thing is much more of a walking simulator with some combat than it is a action game with some story. And it's much more of a walking simulator, very story driven and dialogue driven, with some moments, especially towards the end of combat and puzzle solving. So
it definitely is, and they even have her jog at a slow pace. Everything feels like a walking simulator, and this is what I was talking about last week when I said something feels off about this game. It feels like an indie game. It feels like, and I guess that would make it clear, it felt like a walking simulator with, I don't want to say tacked on combat, because the combat did make sense in the game. It really does.
Well, I mean, dude, think back to, like, Enslaved. As much as I enjoyed that game, and I've talked about that game being, like, one of those overlooked gems from last gen, but it has very simple combat as well. You know, very simple block, weak attack, strong attack. And then they allow you to add a few moves throughout the game, but it's still very simple. I think there's even a shooting mechanic they add. All that to say, I thought it ended up fine. Hellblade ended up fine, but it sounds like the contrast that you're experiencing from Hellblade now to Persona 5 is one where, okay, maybe certain aspects of the story are boring you, at least the relationship side, but there's enough good in the gameplay that maybe you didn't experience with Hellblade, but with Persona 5 you are experiencing that, and that's keeping you going.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and overall it's pretty good, but
cool.
I think for me, like, if you look at the games that I've been into the last few years, the Dark Souls, the Bloodborne, they all have stories. That is not why I'm playing the game. And even The Witcher 3, when I play it, I'm not sitting there going, oh, what's Geralt saying? I'm going, skip it. Let's go back to killing monsters. Like, that's what I'm playing for.
I mean, I didn't have a lot of respect for you to begin with, but now it's really low.
You sound like Jesse White is what you sound like.
That's crazy. All right, so I am playing another game right now. So this is the third one I'm playing through right now. The second one I'm playing through solo. And it does not have much in terms of story so far. I'm about 3 hours into my attempt to replay Nioh. And by replay, I don't mean I finished it before. I just simply mean I fired it up, I looked at it, and I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't remember exactly how I'm supposed to fight. I'm just going to start a new game. I wasn't that far into it.
Yeah.
So I started the new game, and I was able to just sweep right through that opening level in London Tower, and I felt awesome. I was killing bad guys. I barely died at all. I was doing great. I killed Derek the Executioner, which in and of itself, totally worth it.
Yeah,
when you get
that's
a chance
why
to
you
kill
started
Derek.
over. You just want to kill me again.
I just wanted to kill Derek again. And then I got to that first area, right? When you're there, I forget the name of the village there, this fishing village at nighttime, and it's raining, and I had some success. I even went to the little prayer shrine thing and got my armor, like the DLC armor that I think because you had pre-ordered this game, we got some DLC that we could grab. So I put on this armor. I'm feeling really good, and I rock through the first few enemies, and I'm feeling like I think I'm in the groove of this game, which I didn't get last time. Last time I recognized how good it is, but I struggled. And this time I was feeling good, and all of a sudden I hit a wall. And it's when you get up to above the village, there's like this entryway where all of a sudden there's 3 enemies. So I died there a couple times, and then I tried to lure him out one at a time. One of the guys is like this fast-moving, spinning samurai, and he kept killing me, and I kept losing all my Amrita stuff I had built up. So I was starting to get that frustration of this isn't fun. Because if you die and you don't get back to your body before you die the next time, you lose all that stuff. You lose everything that's been charged up and everything that's been earned. And I think it's because I value what limited game time I have now. That bothers me more than it ever used to. I used to say, no, this isn't a problem. I'll get better as I play. Right now, I have no interest in replaying and refighting the same enemies over and over until I get good, as people like to say. So I'm in a weird spot with that game right now where I think it's really amazing. I think it's one of the better combat systems that I've played, at least this year. It's really, really fun. I know it's akin to the Dark Souls and Bloodborne games, and that's why people love it. I'm feeling that frustration of waste. I feel like I'm wasting time. It's not the frustration of dying, but if I didn't lose everything every time I didn't make it back to the body, then I guess I'd feel a little better about it. So I don't know if you have any advice for me on that, or if it's just something I have to push through until I get the knack for different enemy types. I don't know what I have to do, but it's a little frustrating at the moment.
Well, I have, I won't say mixed feelings. I have high regard for the game. I enjoyed it. I do feel like, though, with Nioh, while it's more fun to play as far as the quick combat and stuff like that, the game, to me, drags way too much. Like, it's so much bigger, and I'm not talking about the world because it's not really open world, it's just open area. But the world, the chapters, the amount of missions and stuff is a lot more than Bloodborne and Dark Souls and stuff like that. So it kind of dragged for me in the second half. But the first half, I felt the same way you did. Once I got into rhythm, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, you do hit some tough areas, and there are some bosses that are really frustrating that are coming up. But I think it's hard to say with you. I feel like you like challenging games. Like, I think you would like a Persona 5 because it's smart and its combat, and it's obviously different than Nioh. It's more about your brain and less about, your quick
reflexes.
Reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
But Nioh is both. Nioh is about reflex and stuff, but you also have to be smart, and you are also looting, so you got to pay attention to, well, is my equipment even good enough?
Right.
But
what stance to use? There's just a lot going on. But I don't mind that so far.
Going. I think if it doesn't hook you after you fight the second
I want to get to the first boss. Let me just tell you where I am right now.
Yeah,
where
Derek
I'm thinking
the Executioner is not really a boss.
Well, I mean the first real boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
I want you to
I want to get to that first real boss on that fishing village. I want to get through this area. I think I'm at level 9. So what I try to do is I kind of took a deep breath and said, okay, this is frustrating. I don't want to get myself frustrated out of this game because I'm having fun. The battles are fun and challenging. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to start grinding. I'm just going to start grinding these Amrita and going back and leveling stuff up. So I think I'm up to level 9 maybe. So I'm getting stronger. It's just that frustration of feeling like I'm wasting time. Because I'm very aware of how big this game is. Mm-hmm. And I have no interest in this being a game that I play all the way until November. I was thinking more of, hey, I'll put a couple of weeks into this game. There's nothing else really sitting here other than Uncharted coming up. We'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. This could be my main game for a while. I'm already feeling like, wow, 3 hours in and I'm still at the beginning of the first main area. And that's what I'm kind of going back and forth on.
Yeah, but 3 hours isn't that much. So
you're right.
I think you really do need to just get good and keep
I was
playing.
waiting for it. I knew you were going to say it.
Oh, you definitely need to get good. You're better. I have no problem saying, besides Rocket League, I won't admit to that. You're overall better at games than I am. Like, there's certain games that you can beat and that you're smarter than I am at. But I don't see how you could not enjoy Nioh, Bloodborne, and I just don't get it. Like, to me,
I am enjoying
games
Nioh.
are designed for people like you.
very, very clear, I'm enjoying Nioh. But right now it feels like it's all about the timing of the amount of time that I foresee putting into it. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Maybe you suck more than I give you credit for.
Hey guys, what's up? Just want to interrupt here real quickly just to say, to give credit to Derek, I did go back and start playing Nioh again that night that we recorded, as well as some more today, and I gotta be honest, it's really getting its hooks in me. So I finished up that whole first area, beat that first boss. Did as much as I could to clear a lot of that area, and it was awesome. I'm really, really digging it. And so now I'm into Section 2. I think I'm about a third of the way through that whole second mission, main mission story area up to level 18, and I can confirm I'm really, really digging this game. So just wanted to give you an update that I'm a little less negative on it and really enjoying it. All right, back to the conversation.
Oh, I did want to talk about
Very
one
possible.
other game. And,
All right, and then we got to move on to our preview. So
I'll keep it quick.
close it out.
I did play Madden 18. I got early access through EA Access. And the only thing I want to talk about is the long shot. Madden feels like Madden. But I played as far as you could play in the long shot mode. And I have to say, the reason I wanted to play it so bad is I was deciding whether I'm going to buy it. It comes out on Friday. Well, it comes out on Tuesday if you get the really expensive version. And I was like, well, do I want to get this? I know there's plenty of games in August, but I'm really I want the single player experience. It's good production wise, and the acting's great. The graphics are decent. The story even seems interesting. The story of this Wade kid who drops out of the University of Texas when he was supposed to be the greatest Texas quarterback of all time. And so your goal here is to try to make your way back in the NFL. I won't go into reasons why he dropped out. I feel like that's kind of a spoiler. Okay. But I have to say I was a little disappointed. I thought while the story's cool, it wasn't fun to play at all. And the reason I say this is like FIFA 18 or FIFA 17, you play the single player and you actually control, I'm forgetting his name, Alex Hunter.
Alex Hunter, right.
You control him for the entire game, like, well, whatever your portion you're playing. And you have free control over Alex Hunter. Now, again, I'm only the first hour in. There is not one time where I was fully in control of this Wade guy.
You mean like on the football field?
Yeah, like they do the Columbine tryouts. It's all quick time events.
You mean Combine?
Yeah, Columbine.
Wow. The Columbine tryouts sounds like the worst event ever.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to crack a joke. That's terrible. So Combine, so that's all QT events. And then when he has like this flashback to his high school days, so you would think you're gonna get to play a high school football. No. They bring him in and you have control of who he throws to and when he throws it, but you can't really move him around, and all the plays are called for you. So, like, if I wanted to run with him, the play could be a throw play. I can't run with him. I have to just throw the ball. Yeah. So,
okay, now I don't mind the plays being called for you. As a young quarterback, you don't really have that kind of authority quite yet. Yeah. So that's like, okay. And then if you decide to call an audible or break the rules, then you could get in trouble in the cutscenes. That could be interesting. But the idea of not being able to control him is weird. I hope that's just for the beta or for the demo.
I think it's just for that hour. So I think once you make the NFL or whatever, you'll be able to play actual games. But I'm just telling you, from the reviews I read, it's only a 4-hour experience. I just played an hour of it. That means there's only 3 hours left, and I wasn't impressed with the gameplay. There's no way I'm paying $55 or whatever I'd pay with EA Access, $54 for another 3 hours of maybe okay content. And it's the same issue that they had with Alex Hunter in FIFA 17, and that is, no matter how well you play, they have a scripted story, and they can't deviate from it. And that's why I think they do a lot of the quick time events, and I think that's why they controlled how I controlled Wade in high school, is because in this certain, and this isn't really a spoiler, I mean, the whole thing is about him going to the NFL, but they were trying to show you how good he was. He came in as a freshman, and his team was down 21-0 in the second half, and he let him back. And so they had to control and make sure, while they're letting you choose the receivers, they really wanted you to score 4 or 5 times.
I mean, they could have done that with, like, basically, you didn't succeed, would you like to try again? You know what I mean? Like, they still could have done it that way.
They could have done it that way. And they didn't. So I didn't care. Interesting. Plus, that would have made the mode longer. Like, hey, coming in the second half, and you're going to play this now, beat them. And if you don't beat them, that's a fail, and you start over. That would have made the game longer.
I'll stand by what I said. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. If EA surprises us and launches a Switch version of this sometime this fall, I'll get that so I can play it in handheld mode while I'm watching football. I would love that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not buying this. Maybe I'll buy it down the road just to play it. Maybe I'll GameFly it if I decide to sign up for GameFly.
And Madden always goes on sale by the time Christmas rolls around. Like, it's always on sale a few months after release.
But I've got plenty of sports games. I've got NBA, NHL, and FIFA all pre-ordered. I don't need Madden.
There you go. All right, well, good. So there you go. That's what we've been playing. I know that's been the bulk of the episode here, and we are going to shift gears for the second half of our conversation and talk about the fall. I know it's only August, but school just started for most people. I know it did for us, and I know it did for Derek's kids. So school's underway. Football's getting ready to start very soon. The fall season is basically upon us. And this, what I would call, for the most part, a drought of major games being released. There's been some solid indies, okay? Moose Cluewell and others who will call me out on this. Yes, there's been some solid indies. But in terms of major game releases, Hellblade is really the only highlight and all that, and even that is essentially an indie game at $30. So we're about to hit this busy season for video games. And before we talk about the games that are coming out, I want to also give us a quick rundown of some movies coming out. And then, Derek, just give me the quick response whether or not you plan to see it. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
September 8th. This is for movies, by the way. So fall preview, fall movie preview. And September 8th, It.
No.
Me neither. That looks terrifying. I'm sure it's going to be great if you like horror movies. September 15th, American Assassin.
I don't know what it is.
I do want to see this one. I love Michael Keaton, and he's kind of the guy who trains the young kid to be an assassin. It looks very interesting.
Oh, I saw that. I won't see it in the theaters, but I'll check it out.
It'll be a watch. I just don't know when. Kingsman,
Yeah.
Kingsman: The Golden Circle comes out on September 29th.
100% yes.
Me too. I'm planning on
love
seeing
the
this in
first one.
theaters. I really want. I can't wait for this one. I love the first one, so I'm looking forward to it. On that same day, September 29th, is Tom Cruise's new movie called American Made, where he is, I believe, is a pilot, and he ends up getting involved with the CIA and some drug running, and he's undercover. It looks like a comedy / drama, maybe some action in it. I don't know. It's Tom Cruise.
Probably not.
I won't see it unless it gets amazing reviews. Then maybe I'll Redbox it someday. And then that same day also, Flatliners, a remake of the very popular, I believe, 80s movie with guys like Kevin Bacon and I want to say Kiefer Sutherland was in it. No, I won't plan on watching this one either. Blade comes out on October 6th. Blade Runner 2049. First of all, did you see the original?
No.
You should go watch the original. There's a really cool, I think it's called The Director's Cut. It's a really good movie. I am interested in seeing this one. Just like with the Dark Tower movie, which got mediocre to bad reviews, I'm going to wait on reviews for this one. If they're mediocre to bad, I'll hold off like I did with Dark Tower. If they're great, then I'll go see it. I'm kind of on the fence.
You're part of the problem, Tim. Create
True.
your own review.
No, I'm not going to waste money in the theater unless the reviews are good. All right, October 27th. There's other movies too. I'm just pointing out some notable ones. October 27th, as we've already acknowledged, and we will again shortly, is one of the busiest days for entertainment this year. The movie Jigsaw comes out. Any interest in this?
Nope.
Nope, me too. Hard pass. But the next week, I'm very interested in, on November 3rd, Thor Ragnarok. I'm very interested in this one.
I guess. I haven't seen much on it, and I didn't really love the Thor movies. I thought they were okay.
Neither did I, but if you haven't, go watch the trailers for this. There's at least 2 really great trailers for this. They're worth checking out. It looks like it has a ton of style. It just looks like a much different take on Thor and what's happening. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Thor Ragnarok. I'm looking forward to it. 2 weeks later, on November 17th, is Justice League. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
I
trust
think
it, but yeah.
I think I will, although I'll be kind of expecting it to be poor based on Batman vs. Superman, based on Suicide Squad. But that being said, I'm sure there's going to be some coworkers, some friends that want to see it.
Though. Did you see Wonder Woman?
I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet. I need to watch that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good. In fact, I think you can watch it now digital. And
I think people
really
are saying they're holding out a little more hope for Justice League now that Wonder Woman seems to have brought the quality up for those movies.
Well,
so
they
we'll
just
see.
needed a woman to fix this men's crap. So
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. December 15th is Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi.
Yes. 100%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait for that. I know they'll release at least 1 or 2 more trailers for this, but I kind of don't want to see anymore. Even though, let's be honest, if someone Once it comes out, I'll watch it. But I kind of don't want to watch any more trailers for it. I would love to just go see the movie not knowing anything else about it.
I have not watched one thing on it. But I don't
Good.
care about movies, so I don't know anything.
Good call. And the last one I'll highlight is December 20th. They're bringing back one of the movies that I really liked as a kid, and that was Jumanji, as a teenager at least. And I loved Robin Williams in that. And they are relaunching this as a very different take on the Jumanji game. It's called Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle stars The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and it looks like a fun
Interesting.
kids movie. Yeah.
It's like a video game.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it being Jumanji because I'm like, that's not Jumanji. Jumanji's a board game. But whatever. We'll see if it ends up being a fun family movie. It might be. So there you go. There's just a quick, very quick run through of some of the main movies coming out this fall and some of the stuff we plan on seeing. But more importantly, let's get to the topic
what
that
I actually care about.
Yeah, let's get to what we care about and we actually know about. Stop pretending like we know stuff about movies here.
I don't know anything.
Let's talk about video games. I'll start going through this list a little bit, and I'll pause every once in a while for some of the notable ones. But again, I got this from GameInformer.com, and for any of you listening, some of these might jump out at you as games you weren't aware that were dropping soon, so hopefully it's helpful to you. All right, The Escapist 2 will drop on multiple consoles, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and I believe it's going to come to the Switch in the future as well on August 22nd. That is this week, so you can check that out if you're interested in The Escapist 2. I don't know much about it because I never played the first one. I just know it has old school pixelated graphics.
And that is enough for me to say nope.
Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 3, the series from Telltale, which I haven't played yet, but I fully plan on playing when they're all released. That drops for all systems except for Switch at this point.
Did you buy it? I think it's on sale on the PS4 for, like, the season pass was like $12.
I almost did, but Telltale is apparently cozying up with Nintendo and about to release a ton of stuff on the Switch. The Batman, both seasons are about to come out there. Minecraft Story Mode's coming out there, and I fully expect them to release Guardians on there as well. That, to me, these kind of games are perfect for a handheld, where I can sit with a nice, solid, good-looking screen, like the Switch, and not have to have it up on the big screen. I like to do that. So I'm going to hold off on Telltale stuff for the Switch, assuming that that's going to drop. But that's also August 22nd, I believe, for Episode 3. And then the big one, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, comes out on PS4 on August 22nd. You and I will both be playing this.
Yeah.
And our plan is, for next episode, we'll be talking about what we think about this game. I don't know that we'll finish it by then, because we're both playing different things.
It's supposed to be pretty big. Like, it's like a 10 or 12-hour experience, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, like, the most open Uncharted game ever.
Although I do think the overall streamlined experience is still shorter than 2, 3, or 4 from what I've heard. I've heard it's more in the line of 1, which is a relatively shorter game, but still not a short game. So this sounds interesting. And the question that I'm now starting to battle with, and you and I will have to decide this after we both experience it, I'm starting to wonder, do we include this in our Game of the Year conversations? Because it's starting to sound more and more like a standalone experience, even though technically
I feel like this is a game. Like,
we'll have to wait and see,
it's
but I think so
tied
too.
to Uncharted 4 because
Because if you bought the pass, right?
Exactly, and I think that's the only reason why they priced this game at $40, and that's the only reason why they were probably, writing or trying to figure out what they were going to do for DLC since they had already sold this pass, and I think they kind of blew up, and they were just like, let's just make this huge game.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think
the
it's
reviews
a game,
on it are
and
great
if I
so
like
far,
it,
so.
it's definitely going on my top 10 for games.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm kind of leaving it in there as a full regular game. Once I play it, we'll have to make that decision
and for
together.
those that don't remember, I was really hyped for Uncharted 4. I bought the console. I bought the statue. I still have the statue. I don't have the console anymore.
We remember you kissed the console
Yeah.
on.
But overall,
The show.
I was kind of let down by that game. I didn't think it was that great. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm really hoping this will be better. I do like Chloe. I don't like the other girl. That's because she's black and
Nadine?
a woman. Yeah, I
Oh
don't
my
like
gosh.
her. But I do like Chloe.
I like Nadine as a character. She was
Yeah,
underused
because
in
you're
Uncharted 4.
PC and I'm not.
Yeah, totally. All right. Also this week, this Friday, we have a couple games dropping. We've got F1 coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. We have Madden NFL 18 coming out for those same, just PS4 and Xbox One, I believe. Also, those are both August 25th. So you can check those out if you're into racing and or football. Absolver, which you and I have briefly talked about earlier this summer, comes out for PS4 and PC on August 29th. This is an interesting one. It's very combat, kind of martial arts combat looking thing. I don't know a ton about it. It's got a very indie look to it. I'm curious about it. I think it's going to be $30. And
Same here. I'm curious, but I actually don't think. The more I looked into it, the more I was like, no, it's not for me.
yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know if it'll be something that I like. Because I was getting almost For Honor vibes in terms of the one-on-one combat, and I was like, I don't know if I want to play
And then
this.
it's like, isn't it like a multiplayer only, which is
I
what turned
think
me
that's
off.
that's why I was starting to think like, ooh, that's why I was getting For Honor vibes. Like, oh, is this kind of one of those things where there's a quasi lore storyline going on, but really it's just one-on-one combat over and over again. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Concept Revolt comes out on 3DS on August 29th. The 3DS is alive and kicking. Everybody's Golf comes out on PS4 on August 29th. Hello Neighbor comes out on Xbox One and PC on August 29th.
My daughter's excited about that one.
About Hello Neighbor? What is that real quick? Just give me the
I think if
30-second
I'm
overview.
not confusing it, it's the one where you are trying to break into the neighbor's house because you
really?
you think he's like something's off about him, like
Huh.
maybe he's a murderer or something like that, and like
It's kind of interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
and then he hunts you down and stuff like that.
And then the next two we'll talk about are games I know you and I are both very excited about.
Yes.
At least I'm excited about one, you're excited about the other, whatever.
I'm excited for
Mario
both.
plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle comes out for Switch on August 29th. I'm very much looking forward to that. I haven't purchased a full-price Switch game since ARMS, and I am pumped for this one because it looks a lot like an XCOM in the Mario universe. It looks like a lot of fun. So yeah, that comes out on August 29th. And that same day is Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition will come out on PS4 and Xbox One. Anything you want to say about this? I know you're excited about it.
I am. I'm very excited. I'm surprised. I even posted in the group like, "Hey, I'm excited for this game. Anybody else interested?" Silence. Nobody even said anything. I'm really surprised. For those who don't, and I'll just make it quick because I know we're having a long show here, but for those who don't know what Pillars of Eternity is, it's a game that was released on PC only, and it was loved by everybody who reviewed it. We're talking high nines, one of the best RPGs ever. It's made by somebody you'll recognize, Obsidian. This is their game. And it's basically like your old school RPG game where it looks like Baldur's Gate, and it's all about the decisions you make. It's got a really good story. That's why it's loved. Is it
that kind of isometric view, kind of like the Original Sin? What was that one? Divinity, whatever,
Divinity.
like those kind of games.
I was actually playing Divinity today, and I've played a little bit of Pillars because I have it on PC. Now, why am I excited for it to come on console? Because I want to use a freaking controller. You cannot use a controller on PC unless you mod it.
I was just going to ask that. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, Obsidian actually hasn't like patched it in. They changed the game for the consoles. And I'm not just talking about like for controller use. They changed like the UI. It's not going to be the same thing that you played on the PC. But anyways, I'm real excited about this game. I think there would be more people in our group, and hopefully, the 3 listeners we get, one of them's a big old school RPG fan. This is the game for you. It's $50. Yeah. It comes with the game and all of its DLC, and they did have, I think, 2 expansions. So
okay,
it's a lot.
So
of
basically,
content.
you're going to get a lot of game for $50 on your PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, and I got it because I had the $30 in rewards from my Sony card. So I paid $20 and I'm happy. I'm excited.
All right. Well, I think you got this on PS4, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of those ones that could be a sneaky one that I end up enjoying, even though it was not on my radar until you made me get it. So, all right. Coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and I believe Switch, although I don't know when it comes out on Switch, is Redout, which is a F-Zero-like racing game.
It's actually reviewed pretty well on PC. So
it did.
So.
It's one that a lot of people are looking forward to. If you played Fast Remix, which, by the way, my kids and I replayed some this week, Fast Remix is still a really fun arcade F-Zero style game. Redout looks like that, but maybe even a little better. So this is one I've got my eye on just to kind of see, is this worth grabbing on Switch? Do I want this on PS4? If we'll have to wait and see, but that one looks interesting. This is all August 29th, folks. This is a busy, busy day.
Told you August was big, and you didn't pay attention to me.
I know, exactly. So, and here's another one for August 29th. I've never heard of this. Warriors All-Stars comes out on PS4 and PC. I don't know anything about it. Go look it up.
That's the Warriors, like the not Shadow Warriors, but the hack and slash games, right?
Okay.
I think
I don't
that's
know.
what it is.
Like
I think
Dynasty
it's the
Warriors?
All-Star version, which is throwing all the different characters from the different games.
And then the expansion for XCOM 2 called War of the Chosen drops on PC. I told you we'll highlight a couple of PC games here on August 29th. Again, I love the original, well, not the original, but the more recent reboot of XCOM from a couple years back. Haven't played XCOM 2 yet, but people are pretty pumped for this expansion, so go check that out if you've got a PC. And lastly, for August 29th is Yakuza Kiwami. That comes out on PS4. I know a lot of you played and really enjoyed Yakuza 0, and I don't know, is this one a remake, or is this the next game?
Yakuza is a remake of the first one, and it starts off right after 0.
Okay, all right.
Which,
so
by
Yakuza
the way,
Kiwami.
you have access to 0 if you ever want to play it.
Okay, cool. So I know that people love the Yakuza games. They're kind of one of those...
I'm not buying this one until it's either dirt cheap or I beat 0, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is one of those games that a lot of people consider to be underappreciated. So
they're fun. They're fun games, and they got a good, melodramatic story that it hooks you. Trust me, it's good.
Life is Strange, Before the Storm, the prequel to Life is Strange, and I think at this time it stars Chloe. This comes out on August 31st. I am unclear on whether it's the entire series, if it's 3 episodes or if it's just episode 1, but that comes out, at least the first part of it drops on August 31st, if not all 3 parts of it. So go check that out if you're into Life is Strange. I'm still my love for Life is Strange is real. I love that game. I think it's awesome, but changing the voice actress is going to be weird, especially because it's a prequel and it's the same character. So we'll see how that one goes. That's probably one I'll buy on sale because I'm not as hyped for it as I thought I might be when they announced the Life is Strange.
I mean, you're talking about, at least I know for you probably won't play Pillars of Eternity anytime soon, but Mario and Rabbids you'll be playing. So
yes,
this is 2 days after Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah, I don't see myself giving this one much attention, which is weird because I really, really liked the
And then
the
a week
original
later,
series.
you have a major game that you and I plan on playing.
Exactly. Well, and I know what you're talking about. September 5th is Knack 2.
Exactly. Read my mind. Can't wait to co-op that with you.
We're going to co-op that one start to finish. I cannot wait. Dude, I saw the trailer for that, and it looks just like Knack 1. So that is the good news.
I actually like Knack.
It's not the worst thing ever.
I'm fully aware the only reason why I bought that game is because I was so excited by the launch of the PS4 and Xbox One that I bought anything that they offered.
It is a competent action platformer. It's a competent game. It's just not a great game. And so we'll see if the second one improves on it or it's just more of the same.
I just think they made this under false numbers. Like, I think it sold over 1 million copies or even more than that. And it was because people were just buying what was out. I don't think this one's going to do good, and that's why they were selling it for $40.
I was going to say, isn't this coming out at $40? It might do pretty well at $40 because, well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a smart tactic to sell it for less.
I'm not buying it anytime soon.
September 6th, the next day, we will be able to play Destiny 2 on the PS4, Xbox One. This little indie game called Destiny 2. The beta was really good. The shooting feels as good as ever. It looks like the visuals have, of course, gotten some upgrades, although a lot of it does kind of still look like Destiny.
PC,
and that's not a bad thing. So this will be a very interesting one. I'm very excited for that as well. Hopefully some of you listening will be ready to jump online and play with us. NASCAR Heat 2 drops on September 12th. Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 drops on September 12th as well. Speaking of Divinity, we mentioned this earlier during Pillars of Eternity chat. Divinity Original Sin 2 will come out on PC on September 14th. interesting to keep an eye on that one because the original one,
fun, but I always had trouble getting into it, and that was the same thing. I tried to play it today, and I just
it was fun. Didn't you and I try that and we failed miserably?
but we advanced a little bit. We were getting in a rhythm, and then we never played it again.
Yeah, it was a very fun game. This is very much beloved by people who love those in-depth RPGs on the PC. So check this out if you're a PC owner, and just like Pillars of Eternity, if you really like those kind of games, give this one a shot. The DLC for Dishonored 2 called Death of the Outsider will come out on September 15th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Looks like a standalone story experience. It's
kind of like Uncharted Lost Legacy, where it's going to be its own thing outside of Dishonored 2, and that's why it's $30.
It looks very interesting. So if you're a Dishonored fan, go check that one out. I'll grab that on sale at some point when I finally get to Dishonored 2. It's still sitting at the top of my backlog, but I haven't dove into it yet. NBA Live 18 on the PS4 and Xbox One, also on September 15th, right alongside NHL 18 for PS4 and Xbox One. It's going
to be a good day for me. I got both of those, so I'm excited.
Also on September 15th. Of those September 15th games, the one that I'm probably going to get is the 3DS Metroid Samus Returns game. I want to show this game support, not only because I want to play it, I'm very excited to play it, but also I want Nintendo to know this series is still wanted and loved by its fans, and I'm going to be an evangelist for anyone who has a 3DS. I know you don't have one anymore, so I can't guilt you into it. But anyone who has one...
I have a 2DS.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is one I think that everyone should throw support behind, because I want Nintendo to know that Metroid is a beloved series.
I'm not buying it.
You idiot. All right, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'll buy Metroid Prime, but I'm not buying it.
4 days later, on September 19th, we've got 2 games coming out. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite comes out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And then NBA 2K will drop that same day for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. This is one of the earlier games, third-party games announced for the Switch. So there's a lot of anticipation for how this thing will compare and how it will run on Nintendo's
I got NBA
console.
Live on the Xbox One. I would consider doing 2K18 on the Switch if it's like a full version. If it's going to be where they cut out like the single-player campaign type thingy that they have every year now, then I won't do it.
That's fair. That's fair, because you don't want a trimmed-down version. If you're going to get it, you want the whole deal.
And that's my thing. Unless the Switch is going to offer these sports games for cheaper, like, hey, you're not getting Alex Hunter in FIFA 18, we'll sell it to you for 40 or 50 even, I'd be okay with, because with Best Buy, it would drop another 10.
Now, that would be an interesting thing if they were like, hey, listen, our third-party agreement didn't allow us to include all the features, but you can get it at a lower price. That's an interesting idea, actually.
They did it with one game that I'm aware of on the Wii U, and that was Batman Arkham Origins, and I know this because I paid $60 for it on my Wii U, and when I went into GameStop, like right before it was releasing, the guy I knew, the manager, was like, "Oh, the game's only $50 now," and I said, "Why?" And they said they dropped the price because it doesn't have online. Like it doesn't have, that game.
So there's precedent. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. So I feel like they should do the same thing with their sports games.
All right, there's a couple games coming out on September 22nd. Pokemon Gold Silver will come out on 3DS. I believe that's just an online downloadable version of those. Pokken Tournament Deluxe drops on Switch on September 22nd. If you're into Tekken and Pokemon, that combo, if that does it for you.
It's actually supposed to be a good game. I didn't
buy
it.
There's a ton of conversation about this game. If you're into the tournament scene, if you're into that kind of esports scene, people are talking about this game. Project Cars 2 comes out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, also on September 22nd. Blue Reflection, no idea what that is, comes out on PS4 and PC on September 26th. Danganronpa version 3 or volume 3, Killing Harmony, PS4 and Vita. Hey Vita, how you doing? September 26th. And then finally, everyone still is super hyped for Cuphead, right? After being announced like 3 years ago.
Not me. I never cared about Cuphead.
The hype level for that game, I think, is diminished a lot. But it is now, other than Gran Turismo... No, not Gran Turismo, I'm sorry. Forza Motorsport. Or which one is it? Is it Forza...
Forza Motorsport 7.
Is it 7? It says 3 on my list. Yeah, that's my bad. Okay, so other than Forza Motorsport 7, it really is the only marquee Xbox exclusive that's coming out this fall, unless I'm forgetting something. Now that Crackdown's out, it's basically down to Cuphead and Forza. So
I think so.
If you're not familiar with what Cuphead is, it is an old school, like 1920s, 1930s style cartoon animation with full color. It's very
I'll
colorful,
probably
very
end
stylish.
up buying it because it does look interesting, but it's not my style.
It's a fast-paced action side-scrolling shooter type of a game. If you're wondering what kind of game it is, it's just the art style looks like the old school, like original Mickey Mouse cartoon stuff. Kind of almost nightmarish in some ways, but very interesting. It's one reason for me to fire up the Xbox again. FIFA 18 comes out for everything, including last-gen systems, on September 29th. So please be excited for that. Gundam Versus on PS4, also September 29th. Total War Warhammer 2 comes out on PC on September 29th. So September also a very busy month. A lot of sports games in that month. A lot of racing, a lot of different sports games hitting in September. So you have plenty of sports to play this fall. All right, let's talk about October. Battle Chasers Night War comes out for all major current systems, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
This one looks cool, by the way.
It really does. Yeah, on October 3rd. If you guys haven't, go check out some video for Battle Chasers Night War. It looks very, very cool.
I'll probably get it on PC. It looks cool.
Forza Motorsport, and it says 3. I think that's my fault. I think it should say 7.
7, yeah.
Drops on Xbox One and PC on October 3rd. And if you're going to buy an Xbox One X the following month, this is going to be one of those games that supports that and will apparently look amazing. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions comes out on 3DS. This is a remake of GBA titles, the Mario and Luigi series. Those are very funny games, although I didn't play all of them. That's October 6th. And then here we go. This is like home run after home run. Yeah. Middle-earth Shadow of War comes out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Looks amazing. Can't wait to play it.
Still scared of it, but I am excited.
It looks like it could be a little overwhelming. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that the developers have made it, have added these pieces in bite-sized chunks, and it won't be overwhelming right out of the gate. That's my hope. The Evil Within 2 drops 3 days later on October 13th. Also PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So that month of October, you can feel free to play all the spookiness that you want with that game.
Might get it on PC, but I doubt it.
Gran Turismo Sport, I believe, is supposed to arrive on October 17th for PS4.
I'm actually excited about this one, and that's only because of VR. Because I plan on getting Forza Motorsport 7, and I still think Forza destroys Gran Turismo. It has for the last 10 years or even longer. But GT Sport is supposed to really have like an actual nice-looking VR experience, and if that's true, I'll want it.
This is one of those ones that was talked about when PSVR was announced, right? So this has been in discussions for a while. Elex, or Elex, it's E-L-E-X, comes out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 17th. No idea what that is.
It's like, it looks like it's like an open world Witcher type game.
What?
But it doesn't look, it's made, I think, by THQ, and it doesn't look right. It looks cool from a distance, but then when I actually watch gameplay of it, because I was looking into it, I was thinking about buying it. It looked a little off, but I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm not judging it yet, but it looks like a middle tier game that's trying to make like a big kind of open world RPG.
That's a horrible time to release a brand new IP, and you're kind of rolling the dice on something like this. Push it back to December or something when there's nothing else happening. Like, what are you doing?
I don't get it.
Right in the middle of October, because even on that day alone, we've got GT Sport, we've got South Park.
We've talked about this 1,000 times. Why, even if you can't release it this summer, delay the game till late spring, early summer.
Yeah.
That's where you release these games. Yeah. I cannot believe how many games are in between some of these big-ass superstar games, and they're going to still release them like it's like, oh, we'll have success. No,
they're releasing it day and date with some major releases and in between these absolutely epic games. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever. South Park, The Fractured But Whole comes out on, and I make sure I mentioned that I pronounce that in a way that doesn't sound too gross. PS4, Xbox One, and PC. That's October 17th, assuming it doesn't get delayed.
All hype for that game.
Okay.
So
I'm sure it will be great, but it's been disappointing the way it's been pushed back for most South Park fans.
I've lost interest in it.
And WWE 2K18, I believe, is coming out for all systems day and date, October 17th. So check that out if you're into wrestling games. I know it was a big deal to hear that's coming out on Switch as well. It's supposed to be the full version of that game. So if you're into wrestling and you have a Switch, I suggest you throw support behind that one, just so these third parties can see that the Switch version is doing well. It's successful, exactly. By the way, for you PC owners, Destiny 2 is coming to PC on October 24th, so don't lose hope on September 6th when all your console friends are playing and having a blast. You'll be able to join the fray at the end of October as well. All right, Just Dance 2018 comes out across all systems October 24th. Knights of Azure 2, Bride of the New Moon comes out on PS4, Switch, and PC. This is an anime-looking RPG game. Comes out on October 24th. Kind of interesting to see PS4, PC, and Switch for that. So some of these developers are releasing them where they know they're going to have success, PS4 and PC, and they're seeing the success of the Switch, and they're trying to jump on that train too. And here we go, October 27th. There's only 3 games on the list here, but they are 3 of the biggest games of the entire year, and they release the same day.
Such a great
Assassin's
day.
Creed Origins, PS4, Xbox One, PC, Super Mario Odyssey for the Switch, and Wolfenstein the New Colossus, also for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, all on October 27th. You and I will have access to all 3 of these games because we love to spend a ton of money on video games.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a great, great day and a few weeks following that as we get to dive into these highly anticipated games. Call of Duty World War II comes out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I'm excited for Call of Duty, too. I think
on November
looks
3rd. Yeah, some of these trailers have looked really neat. I think whether or not they mean to, it feels like they're taking a page out of the playbook of Battlefield 1, just in terms of the storytelling and the stylized, making it very real and gritty version of this historical event, this war. So that'll be interesting to see how this Call of Duty game is received. The last time they had a World War II setting was World at War, which I really liked. I liked that game. Super Lucky's Tale. You know what? We didn't give Xbox enough credit. They do have another exclusive coming out this fall on November 7th. Super Lucky's Tale. Looks like a very mediocre platforming kid.
I'll give it a chance though. I'm gonna wait and see see if it's a little bit better than mediocre.
During the E3 reveal, I thought it was going to be Conquer, the way the little orange tail popped into view. I was like,
Does it make any sense why they can? Like, I hate Microsoft right now. Why you would buy Rare and then never use any of their popular
No, you have them making
assets?
Sea of Thieves, and then that game is apparently never coming out. So that's all that's going on with Rare.
Yeah, I thought Sea of Thieves was supposed to be 2018 or 2017.
No, it's 2018.
Oh.
It'll be spring 2018 at the earliest. I don't even think it's going to come out then, if I have to be honest with you. All right, Need for Speed Payback comes out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November 10th. I know you're interested in this one.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered it on the one. I'm very excited for that game.
Yeah,
I think it looks really cool.
That game looks sharp. It kind of has a Fast and Furious vibe going.
So at least I'll have something cool to play on my One X.
Yeah, you will. That and Super Lucky's Tale. Lucky you.
Hey, I might buy it. Just because.
It's going to be your knack. Just like knack for the PS4. Yeah. You're like, oh, whatever, I'll buy everything.
I'll ignore all the October 27th games and even
Super
Call of
Lucky's
Duty
Tale.
on November 3rd. I'm going to focus on Super Lucky's Tale.
Super Lucky's
on
Tale.
November
You're going to be posting in the group like, can anyone help me on the second world of Super Lucky's Tale?
Nobody has that game, you noob.
There's no game facts for this yet.
Within 2 seconds, and Frank does this. I don't know if he has it where he like follows me. As soon as I post about any game he doesn't care about, trash. He's definitely gonna put that on Super Lucky's Tale. It's a wannabe Mario, trash.
Without a doubt. Okay, Need for Speed Payback. Okay, and then on November 14th, across all systems, I believe it's on Switch as well, we have Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 coming out. I really liked Lego Marvel Superheroes, so I'm looking forward to that. It's a fun one to play with the kids. Probably a game to grab when it's on sale, but fear not, it will likely go on sale very quickly. You know, probably early 2018, I'll be able to grab this game for probably $30 or less. So that'll be a fun one to play when it drops in price a bit. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon comes out on 3DS on November 17th. From what I've heard, these are entirely new experiences in those same worlds with tons of new Pokemon. So if you're into those games, don't look at these as just simply like collector's editions of the same game. Think of it like Pokemon Black and White 2. It's a totally different experience in the same world. And the last one I'll highlight right now, alongside the Pokemon Ultra games on November 17th, is Star Wars Battlefront 2, also drops on November 17th on the One, on the PS4, and on PC. Which I know both of us are optimistic about that one as well. We'll have to wait and see if it delivers on what EA is promising.
Pre-ordered on the One X, so I'm excited.
Yeah. So a very busy fall. That's just we went rapid fire. I'm talking real fast, trying to get through all of it without wasting everyone's time. This is a huge fall for video gaming. I mean, it's already been a huge year. If the year wrapped up right now and we just reviewed stuff from January through even the end of July, let alone August, we would say, hey, this is a great year of gaming. We still have about 4 more months of absolutely insane game releases ahead of us. Yeah. So hopefully your wallets are ready because it's about to get pretty crazy. All right, so that's it. That's our preview for fall 2017. Derek, thanks for being here tonight. I know it's getting late for you, so thanks for hanging out and talking. Everyone, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Who is your daddy? I am the father.
You fathers will understand.
My father taught me many things.
I got an idea. How about you all sit there quietly while I make dad noises?